All right, it's Friday, May 16th, just following up on the SPY. Figured I'd follow up each step of the way. I bought some puts here as I was breaking down on a 2 up, 2 down bar here, expecting it to take out the lows of the day as a first target. Our next target is here at this kind of pre-market range, and we're going to see if we get there. They seem to be close enough where that should hit from a liquidity standpoint. So, the options I bought these 595 puts at 680. You can see they're up to 728. They have a delta here of like 65. So, they don't move point for point with the SPY, but they, it's not a bad delta in terms of the type of option. So they're starting to move up. Again, this was kind of expected on this move here. We're trying to reverse a little bit or pause a little bit of a big uptrend that's in play. We had a gap up here. We've gone up for 4 days of the week. So, you kind of know that context. It's tricky to reverse these things, but sometimes you get a sharp pullback, at least to the midpoint of that prior day. That could be a target here. Then we'll see how this day ends up. If things really get negative and you get through that midpoint, maybe by the end of the day you get a big reversal. We still have a weekly chart that's heading higher here, and wanting to close green, it looks like, by the end of the week. So you don't have the expectations that this thing is going to fail, but you kind of know the context of what has to happen for the beginning of a potential failure. I mean, can we really get a weak day today and get all the way down here and then maybe set up a weak bar into next week and get a 2 down week and fill this gap? Who knows? But at least opening price action, the only way to play it today, in my opinion, was to kind of watch the opening price action. The 2 attempts up, couldn't take out that first bar high, little failure. You had a sense at that point, if you're not going directionally up in the morning, you're taking out liquidity first, even if you want to reverse and head higher. So here we go. We're kind of working down towards the pre-market lows here at the lower blue line. It's probably right here technically. So now this is really the area where I could see it possibly holding and taking out liquidity and then resuming higher. If not, then we start getting to see if we get to the midpoint of the prior day down to this little area. There's some stops, I'm sure, here in the market if it wants to slice right through here. And that could be interesting to see, does that really hold for the rest of the day, or do we break through there and go much lower? So, main thing is you expected this little follow through here. It's developed. Yeah, we go, taking out the lows of the pre-market range now. So I can see the options are at 680 all the way up to 780, almost a point higher here. There it is. So now, you can treat this at no risk in one way or the other. If we hold here and bounce all the way up, fine, no worse than break even. If you want to take profits here or scale out, you can do that too. This is an inflection area where you expect a pause, you expect maybe even not to continue lower, because it's very difficult to reverse a strong uptrend, and but you sense we're taking out liquidity to the downside. So I just wanted to point that out as it's unfolding. You can see the obvious pause here, but we're going to see how this bar ends up. Again, if we can't really reverse here in any strong way with a big green bar, then we might be heading down to the lows of the midpoint of yesterday, and that will be a real interesting area as far as the rest of the day is concerned. But for now, this might be all we get. So you kind of know that. The main thing again was you expected immediate follow through from here. We got it, and now you can treat the trade however you want in terms of either scaling out, taking profits, or trying to hold on and be aggressive and see if you get a reversal, which is not really the expectation, but it's certainly a possibility if certain levels are hit. So let's see what happens on the SPY for the rest of the day.